Hi, Michelle. You're not late. We were waiting until 5 after to get started, but let's go ahead and do that. Michelle, are you currently in wonderful Las Vegas? I love it. Fabulous, like the sign, fabulous Las Vegas.
Yes.
Michelle, Christine, you said you know all of your people that are here with us today. Is
Mm-hmm.
Michelle a speaker? Michelle, have you been paid to speak before? And just again, there's an 8-second delay from the time you enter in the chat bar to getting going here. So let me go ahead and pull up the next slide. Announce yourself and where you're from, and then the action guide. Now on the PowerPoint, that's not a real link. It's not a live link, but I did put a live link in the chat bar up at the very top. You can see it. If you haven't downloaded your action guide yet, it's really helpful. So you can either open it on another window on your screen or you can print it. Okay, just getting started. Do you have a topic or an experience you want to share when you speak? That, you know, most speakers really become speakers because they have a wonderful message they want to share. They've experienced something, they've endured something, they've had a hardship that they overcame. So many motivational speakers actually lived in their car at one point, even like Bob Proctor at one point was living in his car, and then he started cleaning office buildings and made it very, very big. So it's interesting to hear the topics that everybody is speaking on. So, okay, so let's move ahead. Make sure you have your action guide. Again, it's lvcsb.com/IS for Insider Secrets -action guide. And it'll help you go along. It'll help you really get clarity on where you are and where you want to be. Okay, being bullied in high school to healing from traumatic. That's wonderful. It's not wonderful that you've had that experience, but it's wonderful that you've evolved enough that you want to share and help empower others, Michelle. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right, let's start with a quick poll. What is your financial goal for speaking? And I'm going to put a little poll over here in the chat bar for a minute. And here we go. And you can see that. So all you have to do is click on one of those. And the options are financial independence, supplement your income, or establish your credibility as an expert in your field. And yes, I should say all of the above. Maybe I should change the poll and add that. All of the above.
Yep.
Make more money so I can have financial independence, and establish my credibility as an expert so I can have financial independence. They all come down to financial independence, I think. But there are some people who really are happy just speaking for fun or earning a little extra here and there. I have a girlfriend who does paint parties, and she picks up a couple extra $100 a week. That adds up really fast, you know. So go ahead and click, okay, financial independence. I can't tell how many of you have clicked how many buttons yet. So I'll give it just another second, but that's why you're here. This is fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. Usually it balances out after a while. I have 3 polls for you today, so just to prepare you. Okay, so let me tell you about, speaking. You know, Michelle, almost every speaker becomes a speaker because they really want to help others. So imagine earning $5,000, $10,000, or even $25,000 for a 1-hour presentation. I've booked speakers for more than $30,000 an hour. And I'm telling you, you can do this. In fact, that hour is more like 45 minutes with a little Q&A at the end. Whatever it is, you can build your credibility and your expertise to where you are making so much money every time you speak. Insider Secrets was made for you if you have an important message to share, you want to distinguish yourself from the crowded field of general speakers, and I'll get into that in a little bit. You want to become the leading expert in your field. You want to earn thousands every time you speak and have high recurring income. You want to influence and help others and fulfill your potential. You want to discover how the speaking industry really works, and you're ready to start getting paid to speak. So feel free at any time to chime in on the chat bar and go, I'm ready, Robin. Okay, if you're ready for that. Now, this is not for you if you don't want to leverage your passion, your experience, or your message to earn an incredible income and lifestyle. And you're happy speaking for free. It's a fun hobby for you. I met a guy once at a Toastmaster meeting. I was actually a guest speaker there. I don't go to the meetings, but and he'd been with the same Toastmasters group for 26 years.
Wow.
And I think he sold insurance. And he just loved speaking. He had no desire, his regular job, his career, paid his bills. He just loved getting up in front of the room and speaking to people. So, that's, what can I say? If you're happy speaking for free, this is not for you. This is how to monetize your message. And there's no, a lot of people want to be so virtuous and say, I shared my message. I had someone who beat me up when I was a kid, or a parent who molested me, something like that. That doesn't mean that you have to starve to death sharing your story. There's no reason why you can't monetize it. Speaking is one of the highest paid professions today. There I am speaking at MPI, which is Meeting Professionals International, in Edmonton, Canada, at the Matrix Hotel, in front of a room full of people who put together meetings, many of whom book speakers. So anytime I'm speaking, I'm promoting the Bureau as well and all my speakers. Let's look at the first, I think it's the third page in the action guide. What do you want to earn from speaking? Because you can't get where you're going unless you know where you're headed. Where do you want to go? So if you've already been paid to speak, then write down what is the top fee that you earned last year in 2017. And whether or not you've ever been paid to speak, what would you like your top fee to be this year in 2018? Even if you've never been paid to speak before, you're just starting out, what would you like to earn? And don't worry about being judged or anything. The first time I got paid to speak, I think I got paid $300 or $350. It was so much I don't remember, right? And then the next time I felt more confident asking for 500, and then I got 1,000 and 1,500 and worked my way up until I was getting paid $10,000 to speak. And I just actually raised my fee to 15 because of my experience, and I feel like I'm worth it. And there is a certain system for raising your fee that I share in Insider Secrets. Now, this is just for you. You don't have to weigh in on the chat bar. This is to help you see where you are and where you want to go and really get clear on your goals. So if you've been paid to speak, what's your average fee for last year? Say you spoke 10 times and 5 times you got $1,000 and 5 times you spoke for free. Well, then your average is $500 a presentation. So you write that down. And then what do you want your average fee to be this year? And I even share a tip in Insider Secrets about if you don't want to speak for free. I'll speak for free because I know I can make a payday if the circumstances are right. But if you get asked to speak for free too much, usually new speakers do, all you have to do is say, listen, I volunteer every quarter. I do one free gig. And speakers are the only ones who get asked to do their work for free. Can you imagine going to have your taxes done? You ask your tax man, your accountant, could you do mine for free today?
Right.
Isn't it ridiculous? It really is. So anyway, figure out, you just say, listen, I speak for free 4 times a year or 6 times a year, whatever. And I'm already booked now. If you'd like to book me for third quarter, let me know what your date is and I'll see if I'm free. And then of course, what did you earn last year from speaking total? And what do you want to earn this year in 2008? And then what's the gap and are you ready to close it? So if you haven't been paid before and you want to make, say, an extra $20,000 in 2018 from speaking, put down $20,000. If you want to make $100,000 from speaking, put that down. Now, are you ready to close it? I'll always tell someone that if they book me for a paid gig, I will happily give you 25% of my fee. The Bureau takes 25%. I love when I hear from speakers, they say, if you book me, I'll give you some money. The LVCSB is not a nonprofit. I get the Bureau takes 25% of anybody's fee. And believe me, we earn it because we have to do so many proposals. I show up on site to pay the speakers and be there just to make sure everything goes right. It's a lot of work and 2 contracts and everything else. So anyway, I always say I wouldn't
work.
What?
That's how the bureaus work.
That's how bureaus work, all of them, okay? The truth is, often, in spite of standing ovations and accolades, people say, oh my God, you're the best speaker we ever heard. Most speakers don't earn enough money to put gas in their car to get home. And it's because they never discover how to monetize their speaking careers. So let's find out why. And I really love this. Every time I do this, I say, this is my favorite slide. You'd never try to fly an airplane without first taking flying lessons, right? And yeah, have you ever been in the cockpit of a jumbo jet? Christine, have you ever seen the buttons? There is no takeoff button and land button. I know they have autopilot, but You have to know how to work it. So anyway, you would never get in a cockpit and try to take off in an airplane. And yet, every day, people declare themselves to be authors and speakers because we speak and write from the time we're toddlers. That's what I think where I think the problem lies, is that we never really learn how to, that it's an industry, it's a business, getting published. There are more questions than answers for the average, for most speakers. I don't want to say average, for most speakers or authors. They don't understand it's an industry. There's a way to succeed at it. There's a way to not succeed at it. It takes most authors a couple books before they really get good at writing and releasing a book. New authors think writing the book is the hardest part. It's really not.
No.
Once you write that book, now you're like a horse in the starting gate and the bell rings and now the race begins and you have to market it and get it out there. So it really is an industry. And that's one of the reasons why I created Insider Secrets, was to help people, speakers and authors, and people who have a message they want to share, to help you understand how the industry works so that you don't struggle. Over the next hour, I'm going to show you how the speaking industry really works, and I'm going to share 10 Insider Secrets tips. I'm going to share the biggest mistakes most speakers make, the importance of a powerful platform and what your platform really is and what it means to you as a speaker, how to do what the wealthy do, because we all want to be wealthy. We want our financial independence, right? There are 3 different types of speakers, believe it or not, and I'll share those with you. And what every speaker should know about the speaking industry before struggling one more day. I have before in there twice. I knew there was one more typo in this. Anyway, I will change that. But you have to know before you start struggling one more day in the speaking industry. I'm so human. Sorry. I'll share insider secrets to earning 6 figures as a speaker and how you can make more money in one day than you ever thought possible, plus how to set your speaking career on fire. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is so exciting. Thank you for chiming in. You're about to discover incredible secrets. I'm the insider with all the secrets, in case you didn't figure that out yet, because I own the Speakers Bureau. So I'm going to share with you incredible secrets and insights about the speaking industry that took me nearly 10 years and almost $200,000 to learn. And that may seem fantastic if you're new in the business. Let me tell you something. I can share with you how many times I hear from other speakers that they too have spent $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 paying for masterminds, paying for training, paying for everything, and they're still struggling. So it's easy to do. You print material, you build websites, you do everything. And if you're not following the right path, you're going to end up struggling. And I want to help you avoid that. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, so can you. It's really easy and it's a lot of fun when you know the right way to do it. And stay tuned. We have a mind-blowing opportunity for just a few speakers and writers. There's a lot of one-on-one involved in it. So that's why it's somewhat limited, and you could be one of them. Now, here's Insider Secrets tip number 1. Establish your credibility. Why should people listen to you? Why should they buy your book? Why should they hire you as a coach, a consultant, a speaker, etc.? You have to establish your credibility. And so let me start by establishing mine. In 2006, I founded the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. It's lvcsb.com, Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau. Real easy to get that straight. And Las Vegas, I was speaking and writing, and then I thought, oh my goodness, look at this. We have 11 million square feet of convention space. Many of those meetings need speakers. It just seemed like a perfect match for me to offer that opportunity to help the meeting planners book speakers for their meetings in Las Vegas, in fabulous Las Vegas. So I created the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau, where I regularly work with and book speakers that I used to only see on television or read their books. Now, I regularly book speakers for keynote presentations and breakout sessions. Christine, do you know the difference between a keynote and a breakout?
I sure do.
You want to jump in there?
Well, the keynote is when you are on stage speaking. And I'm getting a bit of feedback. Can you hear that, or is that okay?
No, it might be your microphone or your...
Okay. And I've actually done breakout sessions at a leadership conference, which is just where you're speaking in a room on a certain topic, and maybe there might be another breakout session going on in another room. That's been my experience with it.
Right. Technically, a keynote presentation is when everybody at an event is in one room listening to you. And I used to get confused because there were opening keynotes, closing keynotes, lunchtime keynotes, afternoon keynotes. What it really means is that everybody at a conference is in one room listening to that keynote speaker. So, and breakout sessions, like say there are just 100 people at a conference, okay? All 100 are in the main ballroom listening to the keynote speaker. Then they separate and maybe they go into 4 rooms of 25 or 2 rooms of 50. If it's a big conference, like 20,000 people, they'll go into smaller auditoriums of 1,000 people or 500 people. Sometimes you can get asked to speak and do the same breakout session 2, 3, 4 times in one day because they're rotating. I don't know why they don't just have everybody stay in the main ballroom and listen to you, but they do it that way for a more personal one-on-one. So that's the difference, and it has nothing to do with the time of day. I just remember thinking that was just fascinating when I learned that.
Yeah.
This is my body of work in publishing. My first book was The Art of the Business Lunch, Building Relationships Between 12 and 2. It's actually a sales book. I teach salespeople how to build, how to increase their business by breaking bread. Contributor to Chicken Soup for the Wine Lover's Soul, which is perfect companion for business lunch. Should you have a glass of wine with your cocktail or a cocktail with your business colleague, you know, and I talk about all that. I've contributed to other anthologies, and I published 3 anthologies, The Power of the Platform, which were anchored by Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and Les Brown. I've had the pleasure and privilege of being interviewed by these media outlets and more. And then most recently, I started producing films in 2011. And I'm currently working on my 3rd film. And you probably recognize some of the stars that are in my movies. Don Miguel Ruiz, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, John Gray, Michael Beckwith, Daniel and Catherine Brinkley, John Assaraf, Gloria Loring, Marcy Shimoff, all of them. They trust me with their reputation. So I hope you understand that that means you can too. The other experts that are lesser known choose to be in the movies because they can gain success by association, which is marketing gold. In fact, I always tease my colleagues who go to any Brendan Burchard event because this one time I said, if he shows that picture of himself with the Dalai Lama one more time, he met him in a receiving line, but he tells a 10-minute story about having met the Dalai Lama. This last time I saw him, he was talking about Oprah Winfrey, and he had brunch with Oprah, and Jack Canfield was there. And, you know, the reason why even someone who's making $50 million a year wants to share a story like that is for that value of success by association. He knows he's not at Oprah's level. So if he can tell you that he had brunch with Oprah, you know, they didn't sit with each other. There were a couple hundred people at the brunch. And I don't want to take anything away from it because this is just one of those talking points where you can say you're in a movie with Jack Canfield or Brian Tracy and so on. So any questions yet? If you have questions, just please feel free to jump in and type something in the chat bar. All right, insider secrets. Tip number 2, avoid these professional speaker mistakes and misconceptions. Most speakers really do make every mistake in the book, and I humbly admit that I made plenty. So that's why I love sharing this with you so I can help you avoid making these mistakes. These are the top 3 mistakes. The first is they don't understand how the speaking industry really works. Remember, I showed you that slide after the airplane. They really don't understand. They don't take lessons or the right kind of training, and they rely on fee-based gigs. And I'll get into that in just a minute. They create and try to sell the wrong products. And they don't understand how really easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak. So we're going to cover a lot of that. Success as a speaker is not just about being a great presenter. It's about understanding how the business works. Of course, being a great presenter helps too. And that was one of my audiences up in Michigan. They were so engaged. It was in a movie theater. And that's my favorite kind of audience because everybody's close up to you. I'm usually speaking at a luncheon where they have those big round banquet tabletops. Have you ever spoken like that, Christine, where there are like 8 or 10 people to each round banquet table?
No, I've never spoken in that
Oh
setting.
my goodness. I remember I spoke at the Beverly Hilton one time to another MPI group, meeting professionals, and they had like 7 rows back. and 5 rows across of these giant round tables. So aside from the front or second row, the first or second row, everybody else is pretty far away. You have to have very big gestures, and you really have to work the whole room to make that work. So being a great presenter helps. If you can ever speak in a theater, it's the best. Okay, I've uncovered some really serious problems for speakers. Most speaker training programs fail to address how the industry actually works. You can have a dynamite program and still struggle to make ends meet. And this is so universal. I see speakers who are struggling for years and years and years. They never really get it because they don't understand. And if you go to a speaker training program, they might specialize on how to speak at colleges or how to speak to women's groups, and it might be $2,500 or $10,000. And it's a pitch fest. Everyone on the stage is selling you something else. You could literally spend $30,000 to $50,000 at one of those events, and you still don't understand how to monetize your message. So that's one of the biggest problems. Another problem is that speaking is a very crowded field, and you have industry experts who are often willing to speak for free. Industry experts, like say you have a medical conference and there are new techniques, and they bring in doctors to speak on the new techniques. They don't pay those doctors. What they'll do is they'll comp the doctors into the conference for free. So the doctor doesn't have to pay the same $2,500 to attend the conference, or $1,500 or $497, whatever it is. Well, what they try to do now is get speakers to attend the conference for free. That doesn't do me any good. That wouldn't do you any good. To go for free to a medical conference or some other, car conference or something else. I want to get paid when I speak, or I want to make sure that I can make my own payday when I speak. Industry experts are like that, like doctors or specialists who can really target that market, and they're willing to speak for free. Let me add this too, that there are countless experts speaking on the very same topic. My Art of the Business Lunch book is about sales, breaking bread to build better relationships so your clients love you and they want to work with you. And it really does affect your bottom line. My claim to fame was, as the queen of the business lunch, was that I had hosted more than 3,000 client lunches, and I saw my sales increase by more than 2,000%. Now, I started getting asked to speak on networking because it's so closely related to socializing with clients. If I'm promoting myself as a networking speaker, I'm up against 3,000 other speakers. If I'm speaking on the Art of the Business Lunch, it's me. And if you look up that topic, you'll see you're going to find me. If you're looking up a networking speaker, it's page after page of 20 million listings on Google. So one of the first assignments that I give in Insider's Secrets, which I'll go ahead and share with you, is you narrow down your topic and enter your topic followed by the word speaker, and go on YouTube and search and see what are those speakers saying about your topic. What do you have to say that they're not saying already? And this helps you to hone your message and really make it special and make it precise, so that when you start marketing yourself, you can really say, I am the expert at this. And it's something different than what the other 3,000 or 5,000 speakers are talking about. I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to understand how you and your message can stand out so that you can achieve your financial goals. And the more specialized you can be, the better. Now, once on your website, if you look up on my robinj.com website, my speaking website, under presentation topics, you'll see that I teach presentation skills. I speak on networking. I speak on I think I pulled it, the self-personality profile. It's my least favorite program to do. But then the Art of the Business Lunch, and then the Keys to Success, one of my favorite programs. And so you can speak on all these different topics, but as you brand yourself, you want to brand yourself for that one specific topic that you are going to dominate. Now, again, let's look at the top 3 mistakes a little more closely. The number one is not understanding how the speaking industry really works, or how easy it is to earn 6 figures as a speaker once you know the secrets. Most speakers rely on fee-based speaking engagements. Now, do you know what that is, Christine?
I sure do.
And would you like to jump in and share?
Well, that's just basically when they get a part of a whatever the event makes, they get a portion of that, or is that something different?
I think that's something different. That's more like commission based. But what
Okay.
this is, fee based, means I call you and I go, listen, I need a facilitator or a speaker, a motivational speaker, and the budget is only $1,500. Are you free? Which, this is funny for everyone listening to this, because this happened. I booked Christine for a gig and I know she's worth much, much more, but the client's budget was $1,500. Now what happens is Christine has the option of saying, no, my fee is $5,000. I'm not going to take $1,500. Or she can say, sure, it's for an hour. I'll make $1,500 for an hour, and she'll show up. The bottom line is she's determining that she's letting someone else determine how much she's going to make. And it's good. There's nothing wrong with taking a gig that isn't your full fee. Some speakers won't. I've called some speakers. I called a speaker here in Las Vegas, and his fee was, I remember it was odd. It was like $4,500. It wasn't like typical, like $2,500 or $5,000. It was $4,500. And I had a client who had $3,500 in their budget, and I offered him $3,500, and he declined it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not gone to him for anything else because he didn't help me with my client, you know. So you want to be flexible with speakers bureaus if possible. The problem is, by the time they're ready to call you, you don't need them. And they want to call you once, well, like, don't call us, we'll call you. Once you make yourself so big, like, I always joke about the girl, well, I hate to joke about her, but you know, when someone's been through something and they're all over the news, like when a shark bit off that girl's arm, she's booked. She's booked for years. Everybody wants to hear her story. Remember the guy who was mountain climbing and had to cut off his own arm to survive? I don't think I could do that. I think I'd still be under the rock by now.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is it. When you just rely on speakers bureaus, being listed with a speakers bureau is really part of a successful speaker strategy, but it can't be it. It can't be all parts of your successful speaker strategy. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about your platform. What is a platform and why do you need one? It's your accomplishments. In other words, what are people saying about you? So that's why when I shared my credentials with you, and I'm not just doing it to talk about myself, I'm really just using myself as an example. But the fact that I've been on MSNBC and I've been interviewed by Newsweek and Rediff.com in India, the London Financial Times, all of those are accomplishments. And I remember when I started speaking, I would have given anything to be interviewed on Fox News or MSNBC or any network. I didn't care about their politics or anything. I just wanted a video clip of myself on a national news show. I wanted to be in the paper. I wanted to be in the magazine. And, you know, this is my accomplishments. What are they saying about you? So you have to kind of reverse engineer your platform. Where do you want to go with it? What do they need to say about you for you to get there? Does that make sense? If so, weigh in. Just put a quick yes in the chat bar, because what your platform will mean to your career as a speaker is the greater your platform, the more success you'll have as a speaker. And if, like I said, unless you're the girl who had a shark bite off her arm, your platform is really, let me see, I booked a guy for $15,000 and he was Richard Branson's right-hand man. That's part of his platform. I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry. God, I know him really well too. But anyway, he gave me an iPad. Can you even believe that? Really nice guy. Anyway, he was Richard Branson's right-hand man. And so that's part of his platform. Who did you work for? What did you do? What have you accomplished? Do you have a best-selling book? Do you have, you know, what have you done? Have you been in a movie? Have you made a movie? Have you, did you climb Mount Everest? Did you jog from San Francisco to New York to raise money? This is all part of your platform and what they're saying about you. Do you get that?
And that's so true, because back in my marketing days, that's one of the things too that we'd learn about companies. You know, what's the public saying about you? What are your customers saying about you?
Oh,
So,
you know what?
yeah.
I just got a news article this morning that the Apple iPhone, the calendar no longer has Easter on it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. And it's missing a few other holidays, Christian and Jewish holidays. And this is the Apple iPhones. And when you talk about maintaining your platform and you're basically an American company, why would you take that down? And it's like anti-Christian to do that. So again, having the wrong platform could absolutely wreck your company. I think Apple's big enough that they'll survive something like this, but it affects how I feel about them, and I'll stick with my Samsung. So your platform can be good, bad, or otherwise, and that's why you always want to be careful and cautious about what you put out there, especially like what you put on your social media pages. I had someone go over mine and just say, pull that, delete that, delete that, delete that. I have not hired people because of their posts. And yes, it's a personal platform and you should be able to say whatever you want or put cat videos or dog pictures or whatever you want on your Facebook page. But the problem is when you're a speaker or you're an entrepreneur in business for yourself, you have about a 50-50 shot of having people disagree with you. And there's someone that I wanted to hire for a very big gig, and I did not hire them because of the political posts they had on their page. And so why do I need that in my life, right? I have that choice as an entrepreneur to make those calls. So do you understand all that? I would love it if you guys would weigh in on the chat bar so I know that you're with us and enjoying it and appreciating the message and getting it, okay? Now, if you set yourself on fire, this is what I mean by this. Bureaus and meeting planners can find you. If I get an opportunity to book a speaker and they say, I need a futurist speaker, my budget's only $5,000. Well, I have 3 futurist speakers in my contact list, but they're all like $25,000 or $30,000 because they predict the future. So they can make more money not working. So if I find a futurist, super. Thank you, Karen, for weighing in. I appreciate that. So, I will go on Google and look for a futurist speaker. And then when I find them, you have to be on TV, write a book, or work for someone famous. No, you become the person, you build your platform. And yes, a book is great. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. As far as working for someone famous, no, absolutely not. Most speakers don't work for someone famous. The goal is to become famous yourself. What I'm saying, though, is it affects someone's platform. If they've worked for someone famous, it usually carries a little credibility. Like if a guy, I shared the platform with Ben Casnocha, who helped launch LinkedIn. And so that was his platform, his claim to fame. And he talked about that. And that was the same event that you were at, Christine. You remember that?
I remember him.
Yeah, he was really good. And then we had John Assaraf speak. And the only challenge with it was John Assaraf was like overqualified for the audience that was there, but it was still a really great event. And so Ben gets asked to speak because he's a tech wizard and he understands how LinkedIn took off and all that. So anyway, I wonder if he's still with them. I don't think he is. Anyway, if you search Art of the Business Lunch Speaker, you see there's my book on Amazon. I know it's a little blurry on this. There's my Robin J website. There's an abstract of my book, which is like a summary. There I am talking about the Art of the Business Lunch. There I'm listed on another speakers bureau. And there I am on the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau, which is fantastic. I even set the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau on fire. And you can see the first listing is an ad for the Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority. Their website is vegasmeansbusiness.com. That doesn't bother me at all. The first organic listing is my speakers bureau, lvcsb.com. The next one is lvcsb.com on featured speakers. And the third one is the organic listing for the LVCVA. And it's for a listing for my Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau because I maintain a vendor listing with them. So I really set the LVCSB on fire. And that's why people looking for convention speakers in Las Vegas find me and the Bureau. Isn't that exciting? Okay, here's Insider Secrets. Are we only to tip number 3? I'm going to talk faster if you can listen that fast, okay? Yes, it can. Michelle, I see your question. Yes, it can be that you survived a lot of traumatic events as a child. That is a great starting point. I would absolutely look at writing it down, creating your story. Even, if books are like the calling card no one's going to throw away, they can help to define you. Then you become a best-selling author or an author, or the book helps to represent you. Okay, just to digress a little bit. All right, when building your brand, you never want to be a specialist. Now, are you thinking, why? That sounds so great. Because I was going to be a business relationship specialist until I found out that it's a terrible word because specialist contains the word Cialis in it. And because everybody laughs at this, the guys laugh more than the girls. You get a lot of spam with Cialis, uh, and it bounces. So imagine you're trying to send out a newsletter or an email blast from Robin J, business relationship specialist. There's a good chance it might bounce. Okay. So you always want to be an expert, or if you have another word for specialist, use that. An authority, maybe. Yeah, you're an expert or an authority on a subject. So always be an expert, never a specialist. Okay, number 2 mistake, speakers create and try to sell the wrong products for the wrong reasons. And here's the biggest tip I can share with you on this. Start with the end in mind, because building products to sell is not important. It's mandatory. The good news is these can cost next to nothing to create, and I can show you how. With our computers and MP3s and everything that we can do, you can create a ton of products, online courses. It really gets easy once you understand how this works. You have to have a reason for creating your product. You need to create it because there's a demand for it, and then share the reason why you created it. For instance, I created this webinar and my Insider Secrets online course because I hear from speakers every day who want to be listed with the Speakers Bureau. Like I said before, it's part of a successful speaker strategy, but it's not the end all. You have to be so proactive to be a successful speaker. I get these emails. I hear from a lot of people representing the doctors they work for. I want to know how to sign them up, become an official speaker, send us an application. I don't have applications. And then again, remember I mentioned you don't want a broad range of subjects. You can speak on a broad range of subjects, but you want to promote yourself as being an expert on one subject. And then everybody writes me and says, this speaker is looking for more opportunities. Well, of course you are. Who doesn't want a paycheck for speaking for an hour? It's a wonderful career, but they want to be listed. And the Speakers Bureau just doesn't work that way. I book every speaker I can. I drop everything when I get an opportunity to book a speaker, but you don't want to rely just on that. Most speakers I talk to are broke. And that's why I decided to help speakers monetize their messages. I've done the books and I do the movies. So many times I reach out to someone and I go, you would be fantastic in my next movie. Well, there's an investment to be in the movie. You just have to buy your inventory of DVDs. When I sold my first book, my publisher said, how many copies do you want? And I said, how many do I get? It was a little naive of me. But when you invest in your inventory and then you sell it, you make that back. So there's no cost above or beyond that. But it's interesting because I encounter a lot of speakers. They look outstanding online, their presence online, their platform looks tight, and they don't have any money. So I said, I have to create Insider Secrets to help them. Okay, Insider Secrets tip number 4 on the next page on your action guide. You need to create awesome products, and they're very easy to do. Just make them something people need, something people want, and something you know a lot about. Now, remember, I told you a book is a great starting point because having a book will help you share your story and help define you as an expert. I have a friend up in Canada who, instead of doing a book, she did a blog. And she had so many blog posts. She blogged like 3 times a week. And so one day she said, you know what? I'm going to take my very best blogs and put them in a book. And she sells the book on her blog for $9.95. And she said almost every day she has 1, 2, or 3 sales. We'll do the math. $10 a day times 30 days a month is $300. If she gets a couple extra, it's a car payment. It's something maybe $500, maybe $1,000. It was so easy. She didn't even have to write it. She'd already written it. So book is a great way to start. And just make sure that your product has value, that it will help people who buy it. Now, here I am on the red carpet at the premiere of my first movie, the Keeper of the Keys. And I was with Jack Canfield, Marcy Shimoff, and John Gray. I have this picture in here because these guys are super, super successful speakers, and they earn more than most speakers working today. How do they do that? Well, they started with a book. Speaking and writing really go together like peanut butter and jelly. It helps you to define yourself as an expert. It's a great way to start your speaking career. Jack started with Chicken Soup for the Soul after selling 500 million copies of his books. And no, I'm not exaggerating. It's even more than that now. He wrote The Success Principles, and he's done a second printing on that. Marcy Shimoff is the reason Chicken Soup became a series. She's the one who had the idea to do Chicken Soup for the woman's soul, and then Chicken Soup for the mother's soul and the nurse's soul, and so on. And she has a few books of her own too, like Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason. And then look at Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus from John Gray. Who doesn't have that? Who doesn't know what it is? And as soon as there's a disagreement between men and women, we go, well, what do you expect? Men are from Mars. So he's kind of infiltrated pop culture with his book. And they have built outstanding careers, and it all started with a book for them. So never underestimate the power of a book. It's a great starting spot.
Yeah.
No matter what you want to learn, someone has spent a life studying it, learn from them. Jeff Walker said that. He wrote a book called Blanche. And that's why I'm here to help you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. I can help you with this. Insider Secrets tip number 5. And don't forget Mars and Venus on a date. Honey, there are Mars and Venus calendars. There are Mars and Venus. There's so much products and so many products and merchandising from that brand. Chicken Soup for the Soul, you can get dog food. Chicken Soup for the Soul, dog food. You can get so many things. So, and they all started with that. And there are, you know, like Zelda, the Bulldog. There are the Weimaraners. There's the, who are the girls who do the really cute girls in cute little outfits, and they do refrigerator magnets and calendars and books and, you know, the guy who said, eat this, not that. You know, those all started as books and they became empires. So keep that in mind when you write your book and you want to reverse engineer it. So it's really, you know, I want to help you get there, and I want to help you get there without making all these mistakes and spending tens of thousands of dollars. Your dream can come true. You can achieve financial freedom as a speaker. You just need to take the time to understand how the expert industry works to discover the keys to achieving all you want. So let me ask you this. We're going to do a poll and click on one of these or the other. What would you do if you had financial independence? Real quick, press a button so we can get going. I can't believe the time is going so fast, but this is, I love that you're staying with us. So hopefully you're appreciating what we're talking about. What, Christine?
I was just going to say, really great content so far.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. So can you click on that? If you're in the chat bar, click on the poll. What would you do if you had financial independence? Would you spend more time with loved ones? Would you travel more? Would you enjoy life more? Or would you work on something you're passionate about? Believe it or not, that's always the first one that lights up. The whole purpose of having financial freedom is so that you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. All right, I'm going to go back to the chat bar here and carry on. Whoopsie. If I can line up my little mousey. There we go. When we talk about financial freedom, it's having all the money you want and having the free time to enjoy it, because one without the other is useless. If all you have is free time, you're unemployed or independently wealthy, and you wouldn't be on this webinar because you would already have figured this out. If you have all the money but you're a workaholic, you never get to enjoy it. So it really is that wonderful combination. In fact, in my first movie, Jack Canfield said, when your vocation feels like a vacation, you have arrived. And we all want to be sitting next to that little cute little dog by the poolside, enjoying the fruits of our labors. Okay. Insider Secrets tip number 6. You can learn from the rich and successful. To do what the wealthy do, you have to invest in yourself. Where you are today financially is the result of what you were doing 5 or 10 years ago. If you're going to become a wealthy speaker, you have to do what the wealthy do and invest in yourself. Who knows what OPM or OBM is? Do what I'm passionate about. Thank you, Karen, for weighing in. And Michelle said all of the above. Yeah, I should put that in there on the polls, like all of the above. Who knows what OPM or OBM is? You've heard that it takes money to make money. It doesn't have to be your money. This is what the wealthy do. They use their credit, their line of credit or their credit cards to invest in things that will increase in value. The poor use the power of debt for instant gratification. They buy items on credit that cost them money, and these items decrease in value. like big screen TVs. Have you been to Costco or Sam's or Best Buy? They're loading them into their cars like they were giving them away. Of course, with the prices today, it's almost like they are. Cars, they depreciate the minute you drive them off the lot. Technology. Have you ever bought like a watch or a computer and the next day you see that there's the second generation and you just bought the last of the first generation? It's a terrible feeling because the technology is just progressing so quickly. Jewelry, unless you're buying like 4-carat investment stones, if you're just buying jewelry, you're paying more for the workmanship. You'll never get your money out of it. And then vacations. I've never understood putting a vacation on a credit card, because now you're paying 6 months later with interest on a meal that you ate on the beach in Maui. That's what you should spend cash on and invest in your business so that your business can take you on vacation.
You are the first person, one of the first people I learned that from. That really got me thinking about that, by the way, about, the rich invest while the poor are spending. I learned that in one of your workshops. So that was a really
in one of my workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. It was a Millionaire Speaker Boot Camp, wasn't it?
The Millionaire Speakers Boot Camp, yes.
Yes, it was. The wealthy, thank you, Christine. The wealthy and successful use the power of debt to make money. They invest in things that will increase in value. They use their line of credit or their credit cards to buy things that will increase in value, like education, real estate, the market. The market continues to go up. Yes, it fluctuates. It goes up and down. But, the wealthy use their credit cards and their line of credit to invest in things that will increase in value. So let me ask you this. Are you where you think you should be at this point? Now, if you're just starting out, of course you are. You can't argue with that. But if not, or even if you are you ready to start earning what you think you're worth, not what someone else has determined, not a bureau, not a meeting planner calling and offering you, a smaller amount than what your fee would be, and ready to start living your dream? If so, type yes in the chat bar if you can. I love to see you guys join in and chime in on this. Okay, insider secrets. Tip number 7. This is the game changer. There are 3 types of speakers. This is going to blow your mind. General, public, and paid. So let's take a look at what the difference is. General speakers, not where I think I should be in. Yes, ready to start. Yay, I like that. Okay, we'll give you a round of applause, Michelle. Yay, Karen said yes too. Okay, thank you. Okay, general speakers include the more than 18,000 speakers listed with all the bureaus, like the Washington Speakers Bureau, leading authorities, Kepler's, etc. They're talented, they teach, they entertain, and they motivate. And most of them usually struggle too. This also includes, you're welcome, darling, everyone in every Toastmasters in the world. Tens of thousands of people all around the world are in Toastmasters, struggling. They're not getting paid to speak. Industry experts. They are included in the list of general speakers, happy to speak for anything, whatever they can get, whenever they can get it. They'll often speak for free and to any size audience. They hope to sell product, BOR, which means back of the room, but they usually don't. And let me tell you, it's very sad when you go and you speak and you are just hitting it out of the park and everyone says, oh my God, that was so amazing. And you come home with a suitcase full of books, the same books you took with you. It's the saddest, what's even worse is if you traveled for that. And now you have to put that heavy suitcase with books in the overhead compartment of the airliner to get home. It's terrible. Yeah. General speakers hope to land that big $10,000 to $20,000 keynote, but they usually don't. Occasionally, a general speaker will get hot. They have the right message at the right time, like a TV show or a viral video. Here's 2 quick examples. Larry Winget, the pit bull of personal development. He did a show on A&E called Big Spender. You see him pop up on the news shows talking about finances and the markets and stuff. Judson Lapley had the first viral video ever, The Evolution of Dance. If you've never seen it, write that down on your notes. The Evolution of Dance is hilarious. He was an aerobics instructor and a motivational speaker, and his students filmed him doing this little thing that he did, which was all dances of the ages, because his message was about how life is change. Great branding message there too.
I've seen that.
Oh, it's so funny. It just makes you laugh. I could watch it again and again. I have. Okay, the good news is they get to raise their fee. When I found Judson, I asked him what was his fee, and he said $3,000. I'm like, honey, you have a viral video. I don't know that I called it that because I don't think we knew the term at the time. I'm like, you have had 1 million hits on your video. You need to be charging more. I said, you need to be like at least 5,000 or so. Well, 2 weeks later, he was on the Today Show, and I saw him on a bureau about a week later, and he was $12,000. So yeah, you get to raise your fee and you get booked a lot. I tried to book him the next year. I had a client who really, really wanted him, and they said, just find out when he's available. Well, he was booked he spoke at a lot of universities. He spoke from orientation to Christmas break. He did not have 2 days free in his schedule to fly to Las Vegas and speak for my client. So he got booked a lot. There's a catch-22. Again, bureaus will want to book you when you no longer need them to. Did he need me to call him and book him? No, his schedule was already full. And that's really sad. But that's the truth with general speakers. Trying to create a viral video or do a TV show, it's a crowded field. It really is something magical to get a viral video. So there's got to be something better than being a general speaker. Okay, public speakers. This is probably the most misunderstood because we say we're public speakers because we're speaking in public, but we're not really public speakers. Public speakers are famous, well-known people. They always keynote. Everybody at any event is in that room listening to their presentation. They earn between $15,000 to $100,000, sometimes even more. I think Rudy Giuliani was like $200,000. Wow. Maybe even more than that. I think like the TV personalities earn so much more. Their average audience size, everybody at the event, 500 to 20,000 people. They use the platform to educate, entertain, and motivate the audience. They are not concerned about selling anything in the back of the room because they are getting a nice paycheck to show up. Here's an example of some public speakers. Speaking of Rudy Giuliani, I've heard him speak. He's a great speaker. Mark Spitz, former athletes. Mark was the first one to win 7 gold medals in a single Olympiad. Goldie Hawn, actors and actresses. They get older. They don't get invited to have the leading lady or leading man roles. They play someone's mother, so they learn to speak and they're used to being on stage. So they play that for all it's worth. There's my friend J.B. Bernstein, who's on the right. He was played by John Hamm in the movie $1 Million Arm. J.B. was a sports agent who spoke as a sports agent, but now he speaks about how he got the $1 Million Arm movie made. It's been around. It's a Disney movie. It's won awards. It's all over the world. So he kind of moved himself from being a general speaker to becoming a public speaker. Michio Kaku, the physicist, he's on all the morning talk shows and has a show on the science fiction channel, or not the science fiction channel, the science channel. And Jack Canfield is a public speaker because even if you don't know who Jack is, you've heard of the Chicken Soup for the Soul brand. Now, here's some examples of paid speakers. They're happy to speak for free. Isn't that a twist? You expect that they're going to be like public speakers and get 20 grand to show up. No, paid speakers are happy to speak for free. They might even pay you to speak. I hear from them all the time. They're like, just book me, Robin. You can keep my fee. Seriously. The difference is they base their presentation on science and psychology. They know they're going to create their own payday because they do that. They'll split the take for the room or sales, sometimes as much as 50-50. This is key. They use the platform to sell what they teach. And write that down on your notes because you're going to want to see that later. They use the platform to sell what they teach. Here's an example of some paid speakers. The most successful right now is Tony Robbins, net worth of about $400 million. Deepak Chopra, net worth of about $40 million. Seriously, Tony's crushing him. Wow. Brendan Burchard makes $40 or $50 million a year. From what I'm guessing, he was making 28 last year when I saw him. He made that the year before. So I'm pretty sure last year he made $50 or $100 million.
And he's got those books like you mentioned earlier.
He's giving away his books for shipping and handling for $7.95. He offered free attendance to his High Performance Academy if you bought 50 copies of his High Performance Habits book, which keeps his book at the top of the bestseller list. I mean, there are philosophies and there are ways and methods to be a #1 selling author. Now, what is the average person going to do with 50 copies of his High Performance Habits books? Mm-hmm. Maybe give away 10 as a gift and then sell them in the back of the room. And why are you selling his products when you should be selling yours?
Right.
Okay. Marsha Weeder is America's Dream Coach. I think she's earning 7 figures, same as Marcy Shimoff. And there's my friend Jack Canfield, who's making millions every year. He has the greatest life. He created it himself. He is awesome. Who did you say love him about? Is that Jack? That came up so soon. I'm wondering who you said that about, Michelle. Michelle just wrote, on the replay, we don't get to see the chat bar. So Michelle just wrote, love him. I want to know who it was that I pointed out that you love.
I think maybe Tony Robbins. I know she's
Tony. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're right. Yeah. Good, Christine. Okay. Insider secrets. Tip number 8. Most speakers, and this is so key to what we're talking about today. Most speakers are general speakers trying to fit the role and become public speakers. This is why they're not making any money. They never become paid speakers because they don't even realize or know that that category exists. Make sense? And of course, now that you know, I can show you how to become a paid speaker. Okay, this is the late, great Georgie. I had to put her in here somewhere. So here's the question. What if you're really talented and unique? Speaking of which, she was. Okay, insider secrets. Tip number 9. Earning $10,000 per speech or more is not based on talent. What is it based on, you ask? It's based on a presentation built on science and psychology. This is such a game changer. This is when you understand how to speak to your audience's beliefs, paradigms, and subconscious minds. If you've ever been at an event and you flew to the back of the room to buy books or tapes or product, your speaker probably used science and psychology to get you to do that. I've done it. I've flown to the back of the room. Oh, we have an amount of this or that, and I run using science and psychology to present. I took my new knowledge for a test drive. I was invited to speak at NAWBO, National Association of Women Business Owners, Southern Nevada, because the thing is, we live here. We have so many friends who are on committees, and they ask us, would you please speak at our luncheon? So I did, and I spoke for free at a NAWBO luncheon at Lowry's to about 50 women mostly women, I should say, for about 20 minutes. I earned more than $6,000 at that event. And again, I'm going to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. It was so easy. I worked as hard as I always worked, only this time I made more than my fee, which was $5,000 at the time. I did it myself. It was amazing. This is such a game changer. So how come most speakers don't understand how easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak? Why? Well, I think this is the reason. Insider Secrets tip number 10. The National Speakers Association, the NSA, reports that more than 95% of their members earn less than $50,000 a year from speaking. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a decent living in this economy. That is hardly financial independence, right, Christine?
That's right.
That is not. So I think this is why most speakers think earning the big bucks for speaking is hard to do, because so few people are doing it. And most people, it was funny when I'm talking to one of my guests in the program, Gretchen Bruner, she says, I think most people find their way to the NSA by default. You're a speaker, you want to join a professional organization that supports speakers, so you start going to NSA meetings. And I don't know any NSA members who are doing better now as a result of that. Okay, it's fun. You want to go? Great. You might learn something, but it's not going to show you how to monetize it. They also offer a very prestigious designation, because very few people can qualify for it. Obviously, fewer than 5% of their members. It's a CSP. It's a Certified Speaking Professional designation. To earn it, look at this. You have to show that you have earned more than $50,000 a year for at least 5 of the last 10 years. That's not total. That's more than 50,000. Now look at 95% of their members will never qualify for a CSP. And that leaves out industry experts and other great speakers who do not earn exclusively from speaking, and most every general speaker working today. That's why most speakers think this is hard to do. It's a networking group for speakers. Yes, Michelle just wrote it's a networking group for speakers. Yeah, you want to go and hang out with other speakers and compare notes or learn something. They have guest speakers every week, but I don't believe that they're going to show you how to earn more money from speaking. They talk about how to get sponsorships and everything, but there's always something missing. They're always going to end up making less than $50,000 a year from speaking. Imagine if you could create an event where you could earn 10 times more than you invested. And if even just one person pays, you'll still make a profit. Doesn't that sound exciting? I can show you how to do this. It's just one of the many ways to take control of your speaking income. All right, now I offered you at the beginning insider secrets, 10 insider secrets tips. Always over deliver is tip. It's not tip number 11. That's just an extra bonus tip. It doesn't take a lot of people to earn a lot of money. When you get started, just decide that you really do want to become a paid speaker. It's not just a social or a networking thing for you to do. You want to become a paid speaker. Stop relying on fee-based gigs. Learn more ways to earn what you're worth. God, I almost made it within the hour, huh? Build proper credibility through products, marketing, promotion, videos, publicity, and great search engine optimization. Let me jump in here too. I hope you can stay with us till the very end. I have another nugget from Napoleon Hill about making decisions. That's just fantastic. And Christine and I are going to go live at the end so you can see us on camera and ask us any question you have for us. 4, discover how to use science and psychology to start earning more right away every time you speak. Have you learned more so far than you thought you would? There I am looking surprised. It's surprising to see how some of the speaking industry really works. Have you found this to be helpful? I think it's been an incredible hour. I know I went really fast, but we did start at 5 after and it's 5 after, so that's pretty good. So would you like to know what else you can do to further your career and start getting paid to speak? If so, type yes in the chat bar. That's easy. Type yes and hit yes, hit enter. We'll see. Again, there's an 8-second delay, which I find very frustrating. I love that instant feedback. Well, I am so, yeah, I know. Yes. Okay. We have one. We have Karen going to say yes. I bet she is. I bet she's going to say yes. I want to know what else can I do to to further my career and start getting paid to speak. Okay. I am so excited to share with you. The Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau presents Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. Oh my goodness. If you thought this free webinar was content rich, wait until you take this course. It's an 8-week, 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, you're done. Fabulous. Thank you for weighing in, Karen. 8-week crash course that will change your speaking career forever and help you to monetize your speaking career. And there are 4 insane bonuses. But first, let me tell you what the course includes. And it's 1 lesson every week. They're mostly about an hour each week. And you can go over them again and again and go back to them as often as you want. So it's really easy. Even if you're super busy, you get 1 lesson a week for 8 weeks. Module 1 is called Don't Speak Again Until You See This. It's the top mistakes that most speakers make and how to avoid them. I have the solutions for those speaker mistakes, of course. Module 2, the science and psychology behind earning more every time you speak. You'll discover the nuggets that will help you to earn more by speaking directly to your audience's subconscious minds, their belief systems and paradigms. This is, no pun intended, this is golden. This changed my life. I was at a seminar learning this with another speaker in town, and Judy turned to me and said, "Where has this been my whole life?" Because we were both just working so hard at speaking, and we were general speakers hoping to be discovered and become public speakers. And we learned this and we were just like, you got to be kidding me. It's so easy once you know it. And then we have module 3, Simply Irresistible. Do this if you want to succeed. You'll discover what it takes to create irresistible offers, secrets for how and when to present so you can close bigger sales more easily, more often. Presentation skills and thrills in module 4. It's content packed. It was funny. I did this with a publisher last week, and she went on, she said, oh my goodness, it's not just about like how to do a PowerPoint presentation. It's so much more about branding, promoting yourself, having a great website, what you need on that website, testimonials, what you need in your bio, what you need of a headshot, how to generate publicity for yourself. It really is a marketing game, and that's what I talk about in this. You'll discover what you need to know to market yourself, create explosive products, reach a global audience with your message, and so much more. Then module 5 is Insider Secrets to Publishing. That is a very old picture of me with Jeff and Deborah Herman. Jeff is one of the most successful literary agents in the country today in the US. And Deb is an author. She has sold 11 books. She currently has a book that was just #1 on Amazon organically. You know, you can do a campaign to become #1 on Amazon. Her book became #1. She had a 6-figure advance on it. These two know so much about publishing. I did an interview segment with her, and everybody says to me, oh my gosh, Robin, that segment with Deb was incredible. You covered everything. Self-publishing, selling your work, the best publishing solutions for you today, because the face of publishing has changed so much. So we share the ins and outs of today's publishing landscape to help you see which solution for publishing is best for your success. This is really a priceless bonus.
Yeah, so many people want to write books today.
Oh my goodness. And there's so many mistakes you can make. You know, I self-published The Art of the Business Lunch first. And then I ended up selling it to Career Press, and it's in 12 languages around the world. I forgot to mention that before. I doubled the word count and I sold it. And I have a prestigious agent at Writer's House in New York City, Al Zuckerman. And you know, so I have self-published. I have published the anthologies. I've contributed to anthologies. I know everything. So I think that helped me to ask Deb the better questions, of course. All right. Then we have Gretchen Bruner, who is a speaker marketer, sharing insider secrets to speaker marketing. She shares information to help you avoid years of struggling, including how to find those fee-based gigs. You don't want to just say no to fee-based gigs. Listen, when someone calls me and says, I have money, can you come and speak? I usually say yes. So you want to find those paid gigs in your own backyard and online. And we had an amazing message, a module with Gretchen too. It's really priceless. So, and module number 7, Insider Secrets, how to automate your income. This is Bryce Kuhlman, who is a geek, like a Big Bang Theory kind of geek. He understands, he's written more than 1 million lines of code. He created Wisdom Robot to help speakers offer their products online. So it's just like cloning yourself. Bryce has your key to product creation and income automation, where you'll discover how to earn high perpetual income online by creating evergreen campaigns that will run 24/7, making money for you while you sleep. And that's priceless as well. In fact, I was on one of the Facebook pages, and one of the speakers, I couldn't believe it, he's teaching drumming. And he has a $1,250 online course on drumming. And he said, oh my God, it's really true. I woke up this morning and I had a $1,250 sale. I made money while I slept. It's possible. You can do it. I love waking up and seeing new order in my inbox. It's fantastic. You can do it too. It's just, and Bryce made it really easy with Wisdom Robot. Super easy to do this. And you get this extra value, a one-on-one with me. We'll Skype or Zoom the call, and I'll hit record so you can go back and look at it again. I will personally help you develop your topic into a killer branded keynote. I'll review your products, your manuscript, your website, your PowerPoint presentation, whatever you need help with at that point. And I'll tell you what, I'm not proud of it, but my assistant called me Simon Cowell, because she did. She kicked me with her size 13 shoes and called me Simon Cowell, and I screamed. We were talking to a speaker, and I thought I was doing a good job of not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I said, it's really obvious. You know what you're talking about. You know your subject matter. You know, you really have a great presentation, but your PowerPoint was dreadful. She kicked me, and I thought I was being kind, you know. So anyway, yeah, I don't pull punches. I feel like I'll help you more by being really fresh and upfront. I don't try to criticize. I really do try to choose my words carefully and say, I think there's a better way to do that. You know, I will be kind. That just cracked me up that she kicked me and called me Simon Cowell. Okay, this is a great opportunity to get a personalized coaching session that will set you on your path to 6-figure speaking success. And I'll record it so you can go back and listen to it whenever you want.
And I've learned a lot from Robin over the years. How long have I known you, Robin? I don't know, 8 years, 7 years, whatever.
At least that.
I've learned so much.
Yeah, because I think I started doing Insider's Millionaire Speaker Boot Camp in 2007 or 2008. And I did it at my home, and Christine joined us there. And I opened my home. We had a yoga instructor give us a break so we could stretch and breathe, and we catered lunch and everything. It was really fun. That was a great event. All right, so the online course that can change your life, more of what you'll get in Insider Secrets is you'll discover how to put yourself together for the greatest impact online and on stage. Now, I have some bonuses for this online course that are going to blow your mind, I think. You'll get a minimum 2-year listing on lvcsb.com, the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. You'll be on my website and on my radar. Remember, I told you the first place I go to look when I get an opportunity, when I get a client, I get to book a speaker, is I review my website to see if I have any speakers who are ready to go and put them in that spot. And there are other people that aren't on the website, but they're on my radar. So I know who I can call to book for certain topics if I have the right budget and the right topic for them. So this is really a tremendous, I think it should be priceless. But I'll tell you what, when I started speaking, I discovered that a lot of bureaus wouldn't list you unless you were already listed with bureaus. So I paid for a couple of years to be listed on a speakers bureau, one that specialized in booking women speakers. Just FYI. And so that's where I grabbed that value from, because that's what it's worth to be listed on a speakers bureau. You get one paid gig, you're ahead of that. And there is my beautiful website. If you haven't been on it yet, I hope you'll go there. It's lvcsb.com, Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau. And you can opt in and get a free report. And there's an author speaker sign up, which basically takes you to this free webinar. So, all right, insane bonus number 2. You're not even going to believe this. The Certified Convention Speaker Designation. You will earn this medallion and be able to put a CCS after your name. Remember, I said the NSA has the CSP, Certified Speaking Professional Designation, that is out of reach for most speakers, at least for the first 5 or 10 years that they're speaking. Well, I created this to help me market the Bureau and to help me market the speakers in the Bureau by helping them earn something that will give the meeting planners more confidence in booking them. I hear from meeting planners all the time that they have been burned. They looked at someone's website, the speaker looked awesome, they were really excited to bring them in, and then they were disappointed. And so by having a CCS after your name, they can book you with confidence. I will work with you one-on-one. That's why this is so limited, such a limited opportunity, because I don't want to book you if I don't think you're going to be aces. I will work with you until you are ready to get booked for a paid gig. And this is absolutely priceless. There is the Certified Convention Speakers page on the website, and you can see there's the medallion, and I am the only speakers bureau that can offer the CCS designation, this exclusive Certified Convention Speaker designation. You'll get a listing with your expertise and your fee, your headshot. There's a little, I think you can see that booking info right there, which triggers an email that comes right to me. It's a jot form. So meeting planners find me and they are interested. And you know what? We just built this. We launched it a few weeks ago, and I've already heard from a couple meeting planners looking for certified convention speakers. This is golden. I was so excited that I thought to do this.
It's a great way to put yourself on the map.
Hey, and don't I tell the speakers to distinguish yourself? What do you have to offer that no one else has to offer? And, you know, if you ever watch Shark Tank, what is proprietary? What is the only thing that you only, what can I get from only you? And that's this. It's fantastic. I'm going to share that mind-blowing information from my Millionaire Speaker Boot Camp that you attended, Christine, where attendees will discover how to use science and psychology to see how easy it is to earn 5,000, 10,000 or more in one day as a speaker. And I sold this, I don't know if you remember the price, $24.97 to come to my Millionaire Speaker Boot Camp. That's what it takes for me to open my house. It's $24.97. Insane bonus number 4, Insider Secrets to Publishing. You'll meet the top literary agent, Deb Herman, and gain her insights and personal recommendations to help you achieve publishing success. Again, another priceless value, plus the other guest experts. So you're wondering, what are people saying about this course? Well, Charles Leon made me laugh. He messaged me, "You're an absolute genius. I'm infatuated with these modules." And I can tell you, hand to God, nobody has ever told me before that they're infatuated with my module.
Here's another one. Because I've been, you guys, I've been listening to the modules, and just in the first one, just a ton of information. It's
Yeah, and the
really,
first one
really
is
good.
easy. The second one,
Yeah.
we really ramp up. We talk about the science and psychology of speaking from the platform, and then we get into presentation skills and how you can close more sales. It's really incredible. So Charles said, thank you for creating this product. And it's truly amazing, magnificent. He sent me so many lines, I didn't even know which one to use here. Sarah emailed me every week that she took a new lesson, like, oh my goodness. And some of what she shared was, I now feel I have a roadmap to follow to achieve success as a paid speaker. And I'm telling you what, Sarah had told me she had spent tens of thousands of dollars hiring other coaches to help her. Each module, she said, has a wealth of cutting edge information that I know I can use. I finally know what I am doing. Yahoo, I owe it all to you in your coaching program. So she's a doll. And then Billy Arcement, who's been around, masters in education, 37 years, and has made every mistake you shared. It takes someone who's been doing it to understand that all these mistakes are out there just waiting for you. He says you gave truth and accurate information about the speaking business. Your strategies for creating a successful speaking career provide a great template for anyone who wants to excel in a tough business. And I hope I didn't share too many challenges with the speaking industry. I want you to be armed so that you can move forward and make money as a speaker without all of those pitfalls that most speakers fall into when they are starting out. So here's a little bit more. Did you have something you wanted?
Yeah, just because I didn't see it on there, but you told me about one of the people who went through the course and he made like $11,000 or
20,000, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
David is a consultant and he could only charge $1,000 to do a presentation. But what he did was he gave away a consultant to the C-level executives at a company, and if they liked it, then they would buy it for their employees. And one company had 8 employees and the other company had 20 employees. He made $28,000 speaking and essentially selling from the stage, giving away 2 or 3 evaluations and assessments to the C-level executives. And they loved what he did so much that they got his product for their employees. So yes. And I said to him, I said, fantastic. How did you do this? And he goes, I just did what you taught me to. And I was like, yay. I'm so grateful to know that it's working that well. Here's some more of what you'll get. I hire speakers, meeting planners, count on me to recommend the best speakers for them. It's got game-changing modules that include everything you need to become a paid speaker and gain financial freedom. I'll help you develop your unique message and brand, how to create explosive products, what you need in a speaker demo video to get booked. Oh my goodness, I have sat through so many terrible speaker demo videos. The 6 elements you have to have on your speaking website to succeed, and how to determine your speaking fee and when to raise it, and how to earn thousands every time you speak. And I offer a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, which on an 8-week course is unheard of. I put my reputation behind this. Plus, I have an extra special webinar bonus. Aside from extra special webinar pricing, if you click the Buy Now button during the webinar, you'll get 3 monthly group coaching sessions, which, you're getting started. You're going to want to talk. You're going to want to have that group coaching session. So you get 3 monthly group coaching sessions worth $197 each for a $591 added value just for if you click the Buy Now button during the webinar. Gotta go. How much is the 8-week course? All right, let me put this up here for you, Karen. Give me 2 seconds and I will show you. I am going to just breeze through this so fast if you want to click the Buy Now button. And this is just a real quick summary. The Keys to Six-Figure Speaking online course is, I priced it, I was originally going to sell it for $49.97. You get the listing on the website, a $1,500 value, the Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp, a $2,497 value, the one-on-one private strategy session with me, the webinar bonus, and then you get the priceless bonuses of insider secrets to publishing, access to special guest experts. You'll become a certified convention speaker and get your listing. And it's a value of more than $10,000 plus the priceless bonuses. Now, it's not that today. I have a special webinar offer Like I said, I designed it to offer it at $49.97, and I have sold it for $34.97. It will be $24.97, but if you sign up during the webinar in the next 24 hours, and you see the clock is ticking there in the chat bar, it's just $19.97. I also offer an easy payment plan where it's just 4 payments of $577 each. If you want to do this, click the Buy Now button. It'll take you. I'll show you where it will take you in just a second. And I'm telling you, you can earn more than this, more than the cost of this course, the very first time you speak after taking Insider Secrets when you apply what I share in the online course. Click the Buy Now button to get started today, and in just 8 exciting weeks, it's not 6 months, it's not a year, 8 weeks, you'll know how to get paid to speak. You'll get listed on the Bureau. You'll earn your certified convention speaker designation. You have my email there, robin@lvcsb.com. Space is limited because I offer so much one-on-one time and attention. So you want to get started today. If you click on the Buy Now button, it'll take you to the sales page that you see right here. You just click Add to Cart. You'll go in the shopping cart on Wisdom Robot, and you check out. You put in your name and your address and your email so we can follow up. And then you'll get an email like this, an order confirmation. And the next thing you'll get will be immediately afterwards, you'll get Module 1, Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking, and you can see you'll get to view your new content, and you can always go back and review what you've already received. So this is so easy. It's your chance. I know what it takes to earn 6 figures as a speaker. I don't want to see you struggle as you build your speaking career. I promise you, you will finally understand how the industry works so you can make it work for yourself. You'll have the knowledge and support you need. You can stop struggling or paying for programs that don't work. Plus, you'll earn the LVCSB's exclusive Certified Convention Speaker designation and get listed on the LVCSB in the convention capital of North America. And you'll discover how to earn thousands every time you speak. Now, remember, I told you I had a little nugget from Napoleon Hill coming up. He was hired by Andrew Carnegie way back in the 30s or 40s to see if really successful people shared any characteristics. And he did find 16 characteristics, of course. We don't want to go through all of those. But the good news is that they were learned. They weren't anything anyone was born with. The first is burning desire. You have to really want to succeed at your chosen field. Second is specialized knowledge. I've gone over that so many times today that you really want to understand and share what you know that nobody else knows. You have a unique experience. Then it takes discipline. I remember when I wrote my book, I did it on Sundays when everybody else was laying out at the pool or going shopping. So it does take a degree of discipline. It takes strong associations who you collaborate with, and it takes decisiveness. So if you ever have trouble making a decision, this is the solution. Just ask yourself, will this decision move me closer to my dreams? And is this decision in harmony with what I am doing? And if you have yes and yes, then you should move forward. That makes your decision for you. You might be able to figure out the speaking industry on your own. I know it took me many years, I've said this already, tens of thousands of dollars and running a speakers bureau to figure it all out, to be on the other side of the fence. So why put yourself through all that when you could be on your way in just 8 weeks? I have bonuses that are designed to help you with a complete, comprehensive speaker strategy, a limited, highly discounted price to make your decision even easier, and an unconditional money-back guarantee so you can sign up today with confidence. As soon as you sign up, you get your first lesson. You can start seeing all the ways you can monetize your message. I hope to get your wheels turning with this. You'll know what costly mistakes to avoid. You can start creating exciting new products that will help you to earn more and start developing your own 6-figure speaker strategy. This special offer, the $19.97, is only available for the next 24 hours. This is your chance to claim a better future for yourself today. So that's it. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you. And Christine, let me get out of here. And you, if you want to click on your camera, there we go. There I am. Ooh, hi. All right, I'm going to remove the offer and open up the chat bar. So I think, Michelle, are you still with us? Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask? Oh, you know what? I didn't put on my lights. This is one of my tips is have great lighting. Look, did I just lose 10 years lighting my light?
Ta-da!
And you know, Las Vegas means the meadow, right? So I'm always in front of my
Yes.
meadow. So do you have any questions? Anybody? And if you're watching this on replay, just email me. I'll put my email in the chat bar again in case. What do you think,
There you go.
Christine?
I love it.
Oh,
Just
there's
from start
Michelle.
to
She's
finish.
waiting to see
Yeah.
us. Let me wave like I'm on TV.
Hi, Michelle.
Do you have any questions, Michelle? I really think, this is such a time in our country right now and in the whole world for healing. And I think if you have that unique experience of, oh, thank you. We can't see her waving back, but she is. I think this is such a unique time where the universe, the age of Aquarius, where we are all reaching out to heal. And I know, look at the Me Too movement. So many women have been abused or molested or hurt in various ways. I never think that they're like all the books about that have already been written. I really think that each of us has a unique voice that we can share with our audience. And I hope that you will follow through and write your book and share your message.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. It was so
Namaste.
nice to meet you too. Michelle says I'm good. Heard lots of good things about you from Christine. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Christine, for saying nice things. I can't say enough nice things about you either. I just love you. So
Aww.
thank you for doing this with me.
Thanks, Robin.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If you need it. What do you think?